Thanks for inviting me to talk with you about Moonquake today. My name is Collin Yamaoka. I'm part of the Moonquake team. Other team members will join for the Q&A. Before sharing our exciting idea, we invite you to close your eyes. Imagine a time in middle or high school when you wanted to be a part of a group, but they wouldn't let you in. Picture the physical environment in your head. See the people around you that caused you this outsiderness, that made you feel less than. Now try to recall the thoughts and emotions when you were that outsider. Okay, open your eyes and ask yourself, how well did you operate under those conditions? Studies have shown that exclusion mimics physical pain in the brain. We know that feeling excluded is the same kind of pain that you feel when you have a migraine. Now imagine you are a new hire. Perhaps you see diversity among your coworkers, but you work in an environment where you feel excluded, like an outsider again. And now multiply that feeling across your entire company, and now you're the CEO. What do you do? Across industry, almost half of our workforce is not bringing their full selves to work. Each year, an estimated 2 million people leave their job due to unfairness and discrimination, which translates to about $64 billion in replacement costs. We also know that organizations with a diverse and inclusive culture have significantly higher productivity and profitability. So knowing all this, how have you and the rest of the industry responded? We've seen an increased focus on hiring with a diversity in mind. We even see this in the diversity of board seats of many Fortune 100 and 500 companies. Current events have also pushed D&I values to the forefront in both social and business environments. Industry also responded by investing heavily in diversity and inclusion training. So what's the problem? Knowing the benefits of inclusion and the current efforts increasing the diversity of employees, we believe the problem is that companies are investing in D&I training that frankly misses the mark. Traditional diversity training isn't extremely effective at changing people's behaviors. So here's a better solution. While having a diverse workforce is important, diversity by itself is simply not enough. Once they are on board, we need to make sure that they feel integrated and included. Simply put, diversity without inclusion is worth less than when the two are combined. Increasing inclusion means changing people's behaviors, and we have a better training experience to do just that. Moonquake. Moonquake is an immersive and fun, multimodal gaming experience designed to increase learning, inclusive behaviors, performance, and productivity. Compared to traditional diversity training, Moonquake effectively approaches the spectrum of learning from both sides, raising awareness and understanding while identifying necessary behavioral changes in real time. And it takes it a step further by appealing to all the different types of learning styles. A combination of physical and digital components brings this experience to life. Set in the future on a distant moon, Moonquake challenges players to complete tasks to address a significant objective with many obstacles and problem-solving events. Players must engage as a group in decision-making, risk assessment, and task delegation to quickly come up with a solution to save the space settlement from possible destruction. Purposeful game design escalates inclusivity challenges and changing team dynamics as the game progresses. An innovative digital application captures observational data from facilitators, participants, and peers of inclusive behaviors using research-based metrics. Facilitated conversations throughout the gameplay and final debrief allows individuals to interact authentically and leads to meaningful discussions on how to work better with others. Here are the addressable markets for Moonquake. The largest is leadership development, $366 billion global industry. Management consultant is a wide-ranging $251 billion, and the narrow market of D&I solutions is estimated around $100 million. We believe our entry is initially in D&I solutions with the capability to impact all three markets as we work our way up the ladder. The D&I solutions sector is experiencing tremendous growth. 60% of vendors saw 100% year-over-year growth in 2018. Moonquake is well positioned to enter the leadership development and engagement sector seen here. Organizations are now using inclusive practices with talent acquisition to get diverse candidates in the door. It's the development and engagement activities like Moonquake that influence and build inclusive culture. The majority of the market is smaller startups, and this is our primary target customer based on our research, particularly those with STEM backgrounds. These companies can make very quick decisions about integrating new training because they typically have one senior HR manager or VP making procurement decisions. Moonquake, however, can also be easily adapted to fit larger companies with a more ingrained training ecosystem. Moonquake can be tailored to align with any organizational training and development tool such as DISC or Myers-Briggs to ensure common language and integration. Here are some examples of the two main buckets of D&I solutions. Traditional based programs are those that primarily tackle awareness in different ways, but don't necessarily impact behavior directly. And then there's experiential based training, which are better using a more hands-on approach, but they're still lacking. They primarily leverage simulations or role plays where individuals pretend that there's someone else, which doesn't effectively impact behavior changes of their own natural tendencies. We believe the holistic approach of Moonquake gives it a competitive edge. What sets Moonquake apart from typical experiential learning is that people bring their true selves to the experience. No role plays required. It appeals to multiple learning styles. Moonquake creates a rich contextual environment where participants activate and integrate physical, emotional, and cognitive responses to what they are learning, making learning more meaningful. Moonquake provides in-the-moment real-time feedback and an ability for participants to reflect and adjust their behavior throughout the experience. The facilitated discussions and learning objectives can be customized to tackle inclusion, and it can be modified to different organizational needs, such as communication or teamwork. And lastly, games are fun. We intentionally designed Moonquake as a game first and apply the D&I objectives to it rather than gamifying a current D&I training experience. Initial reactions to Moonquake have been extremely positive. The game won a 2020 Diversity and Inclusion Award at LLNL, as well as an Adobe Creativity Award for its mobile application design. In addition, results from a survey sent out to participants highlights the stickiness of this experience. Individuals who took the survey 6 months to even a year after playing Moonquake had high praise, but more importantly, have been able to apply the lessons learned. Looking at our timeline, Moonquake copyright is complete for game materials and source code for the digital assistant. The pandemic does present unique obstacles for the physical game during this major shift in the work environment. But here's where we think we have another significant advantage. Based on feedback from potential customers, we're exploring virtual platforms to scale the in-person game for larger companies with a remote workforce. We're looking to create a short demo for marketing purposes of the physical game, along with developing a virtual game in Q2 of 2021, with a target release of the virtual game in Q3, followed by the physical version in Q1 of 2022. We envision a few different service models for delivering Moonquake. The standard turnkey experience would be facilitated by our team, delivers as a one-time workshop for around 8 to 10K. The next step up will be a tailored one. It's a one-time experience again to align discussion points with the customer's learning objectives and fit their training and development language. We also see a train-the-trainer opportunity where we train internal facilitators how to deliver multiple sessions themselves within their company. This allows flexibility and scalability for implementation throughout their business. A seat license option will be available for the virtual version only. Bundling it with enterprise software vendors offers 2 potential revenue streams from both enterprise and end user fees. And finally, we believe a subscription or a certification program for consultants could add additional revenue streams as well. Based on our market analysis, we project acquiring a 2.5% market share of the D&I solutions development and engagement sector, which equates to around $775K in revenue in the first full year once the product is launched. As you can see here, we are a multidisciplinary team from LLNL that bring technical expertise with game design, instructional design, facilitation, human behavior, graphic design, coding, and leadership development. Our ask is for $525,000 to develop and commercialize virtual Moonquake, set up business operation, and hire key team members so that we can begin to foster inclusive behaviors through real play. So whose game?